Good evening, everybody. Oh, that was lame. Good evening. All right, good. All right, you're getting better already. That's a good deal. I'm Jim Shears. I'm the pastor here. For those of you that don't know me, which is most of you, except for the people in the back. Well, you're not in the back. I was going to say that's the Lutheran section back there, but anyway, probably like most churches. Anyway, it's good to have you all here. I just wanted to, we have a wanderer here. Saoirse is going to be wandering around the place. If you need the restroom, they're just down there on your left. There's also some down the hall that way that are on the right. There's a water fountain over there if you need something. I'm sorry, this isn't a pub and we don't have all the other stuff. But anyway, so we're glad to have you here. Glad to have Danny back up. I haven't seen him in a long time, so without further ado, I want to introduce to you, direct from Galway, well, maybe not so direct, well, maybe more indirectly, Danny. You know him.
Thank you, James. It's great to be back in Nashville. I got you. It's great to be in Memphis, actually. Remember the commercial that people forget where they're going to, or where they're playing? I got you on that one because you corrected me immediately. No, this actually is I think it's my third time coming to Memphis. I did a house concert for Nancy and for oh gosh, my we're the same. But I've enjoyed every time, and also traveling with my wife Lisa, and our dog Saoirse is my service dog, and he loves Irish music. Thank you so much. Well, the time has come to make a choice all together now. So join us, friends, and raise your voice all together now. Clap your hands and sing along all together now. The world will join us with our song all together now. We'll sing a song of joy and peace all together now. We'll live all together now. To God all together now. We'll sing a song of joy and peace all together now. All together now. We used to think the world was flat all together now. But round today the square is out all together now. Set the stage we used to be all together now. Together the world in harmony all together now. We'll sing a song of joy and peace all together now. To live all together now. To love all together now. We'll sing a song of joy and peace all together now. All together now. To all the world this song we give all together now. We have made our choice to live all together now. Love and joy will never cease all together now. We now choose to live in peace all together now. We'll sing a song of joy and peace all together now. To live all together now. To love all together now. We'll sing a song of joy and peace all together now. All together now. Sing the chorus with me. We'll sing a song of joy and peace all together now. To live all together now. To love all together now. We'll sing a song of joy and peace all together now. All together now. Woo! All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I believe that this is filmed as well for Facebook and YouTube. Streaming. Oh, so that's what it is, streaming. And we call it filmed, like in Ireland. And anyways, so we welcome our friends. I know there's James was saying that they have friends come watching from Montana and from Louisiana, of course, down in Louisiana, and other parts of the country. So welcome everyone, and we put it out there ourselves, you know. But let's go back to some of the songs we used to sing at O'Flaherty's. The gypsy rover came over the hill, down to the valleys of Shady. He whistled and he sang till the green hills rang, and he won the heart of a lady. All-dee-doo, all-dee-doo, all-day. All-dee-doo, all-dee-day. He whistled and he sang till the green hills rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Last night she left her castle's gate. She left her high-run love. She left her servants and her state to follow the gypsy road. All together now. All-dee-doo, all-dee-doo, all-day. All-dee-doo, all-dee-day. He whistled and he sang till the green was rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Last night she slept on the gooseberry's bed, with silk and sheets full covered. Tonight she'll sleep on the cocoa ground beside her gypsy heart. On your own, now come on. All-dee-doo, all-dee-doo. That's it. All-dee-doo, all-dee-doo. He whistled and he sang, he whistled till the green was rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Well, at last they came to the mansion fine, beside the river clay. There was music and there was wine, for the gypsy and his lady. All right now. All-dee-doo, all-dee-doo, all-dee-doo. That's it. Oh, he was and he sang till the green was rang, and he won the heart of a lady. Well, he is no gypsy, my father said, Lord of these lands all over, and I will stay till my dying day. Oh, with me whistling gypsy roll. All right now. Dee-doo, ah-dee-doo. That's it. Dee-doo, ah-dee-doo. He whistled and he sang till the green was rang, and he won the heart of a lady. All the whistlers. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're going to do a lot of the fun stuff tonight, you know, because, for goodness gracious, we've been 2.5 years doing nothing at all, and just watching streaming concerts and all that, to have a live audience, and it's absolutely wonderful. We have great appreciation now, more than ever before, about having an audience in front of us. A lot of us folkies and all the different music folks that are traveling the planet, as they say. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. And the story about one of those ships that sailed out of Cork back in the times when they were crossing the Atlantic, and those clipper ships and all the different. This was one of the famous ones called the Irish Rover. sailed from the cold Key of Cork. We were sailing the way where the cargo were bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. We in an elegant craft, she was rigged for the night, and know how the trade ones drove her. We had 23 masts, and she stood serve last, and they call her the Irish Rover. Woo! Baby, well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. Baby, well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. There was Barney from the banks of the Lee. There was Hogan from County Tyrone. There was Billy McGurk, who was scarce still for work, and a chap from Westmeath named Malone. And there was Slugger O'Toole, who was drunk as a rule, and fighting Bill Tracy from Dover. And your man, Mick McCann, from the banks of the Bann, was the skipper on the Irish Rover. All together now. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. Don't be afraid of it. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. We had 1 million bags of the best Sligo rags. We had 2 million barrels of rum. We had 3 million bales of old nanny's goat tails. We had 4 million barrels of stone. We had 5 million hogs, 6 million ducks, 7 million barrels of porter. We had 8 million hides of our poor horses' side, and the whole on the Irish Rover. Every dog. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. And we had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out, and our ship lost away into fog. And the whole of our crew was reduced down to 2, was myself and the captain so dark. And the ship struck a rock, and no other shot, and nearly tumbled over. Turned 9 times around, and the poor old dog was drowned. I'm the last on the Irish Rover. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. Fare thee well, my pretty little girl, I'm sailing far away. Oh yeah. You're into it. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Everybody needs a fire inside. Everybody needs a dream to ride. Everybody with a growing soul. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Everybody needs some old new shoes. Everybody needs a little good news. Everybody needs a sheet to fold. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Sing it out now. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone Everybody needs a little more room. Everybody needs a Scottish tune. Everybody needs a hand to hold. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Think with me. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Everybody needs one good friend. Everybody needs a bridge to mend. Everybody needs to pay the toll. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Join with me now. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Everybody needs to play their part. Everybody needs a great big heart. Save a brother from the cold. Everybody needs a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Little road and a stone to roll. Everybody needs a stone to roll. There you are. Thank you very, very much indeed. Every time, sometimes when I travel around and do the few bits I do, people are it's amazing how many of the folks that used to go to O'Flaherty's back in the time and remember it and come up to me. And I set my night for songs that I haven't done for a long time, or new songs that I do. And I came here to Memphis thinking I'm going to do all this new stuff. And all of a sudden, all the O'Flaherty people showed up. I said, okay, we want to hear the old stuff. Including James says, come on, we got to hear those songs. So I'm throwing away all the good stuff that I think is good these days. I'm going to throw it out the window for tonight and just do all the old stuff. And one of them was, we used to sing the song quite a bit. Initially when Robin James Jones was with me back in the early 90s, from Wales, God love him, and on the harp, and miss him. He's up there doing the Hootenanny concerts with the rest of them. Yeah. Sing, Irishmen, sing, so the sound of your voices will ring, and let the world know it really is so. Sing, Irishmen, sing, that's the voice. I dream of a beautiful picture. No more I'll think of the past. They're singing and dancing in Ireland, and the people are happy at last. The sound of the gunfire is missing. The rifles need no more pain. They're singing and dancing in Ireland, and the people are happy again. All together now. Sing, Irishmen, sing, so the sound of your voices will ring, and let the world know it really is so. Sing, Irishmen, sing. There's laughter in Belfast and Derry. You can hear it ring over the air. Through Cavan, Kilkenny and Kerry, Juliet from Kino and Kildare. No more need the little ones suffer. The sunshine, but once there was rain. They're singing and dancing in Ireland, and the people are happy again. All right now, sing, Irishmen, sing. There we go. So the sound of your voices will ring, and let the world know it really is so. Sing, Irishmen, sing. Oh, the streets all are crowded with dancers. The music brings over the land. Should I never see people so happy? Sure, boys, I can tell you, it's grand. I know that it's only a dream now, but my hopes will always remain to see the sun shine over Ireland and the people are happy again. All right now, sing, Irishmen, sing, so the sound of the voices will ring and let the world know it really is so. Sing, Irishman, sing. How about that? Oh, thank you very much. Some of the other songs we would do at O'Flaherty as well. Everybody always got, got involved in the chorus, and they do their little bit of Celtic Irish aerobics and things like that. I know that James told me he sings the song as well for the children and stuff like that. And Dave Mallet, God love him, Dave was the one that made this, put a lot of Irish people to work with this song, including myself. And the piece called The Garden Song. And it's a wonderful chorus in it. And we're here to enjoy ourselves. We're here to sing, clap, cry, the whole lot, the whole package. Inch by inch, row by row, we're going to make this garden grow. And you kind of go like this a little bit and shake it a little bit. And all it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground, inch by inch, row by row. Someone bless these seeds eyes open. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes. He doesn't mind me doing that at all. He doesn't. Till the rain comes tumbling down. That's it. Inch by inch, row by row, we're gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is the rake and the hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. You're doing fine now. It takes about 3 verses at least to get into this. Pulling weeds and picking stones, man is made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, for the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the man. Everyone out, inch by inch, row by row, we're gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is the rake and the hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Oh, plant your rows straight along, tempered them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. And old crow watches hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I'm free as the feather to forget. You got it now. Inch by inch, there you are. We're gonna make this. All it takes is the rake and the hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling. you very much. Recorded an album, or CD, whatever you call it these days, back maybe about 7-8 years ago, you know, and the album's called Changes. But there was a friend of mine, he lives up there, upstate New York, Michael Robinson. He called me up. He used to come see us when we were playing up in New York in Tommy Makin's Irish Pavilion back in the early 80s. And he said, Daddy, I got a song I wrote. And let me tell you the story first, he says. I wrote a song, he says, and across the valley lived Pete Seeger. And he sent the song to Pete Seeger, and Pete didn't get back in touch with him immediately. It was like 3 or 4 months later, Pete called him up and says, where did you get the song? And Michael says, I wrote it. And Pete says, well, gosh, he says, that's a great song. He says, I wish I had written that song. He says, is there a tune to it? And so Michael hummed a tune on the phone, and about 3 weeks later, Pete sent the music sheet and the lyrics and the music on the sheet, on all the notes. And then Michael called me up again. He says, I got the notes, got everything. Would you be interested? Of course I'd be interested. So, anyways, he sent it to me, and I added a chorus to it, and a little bit of collaboration there on I'm very, very proud of it. And in the song it says, come kindle, find kindling. No piece too small or insignificant, as long as we bundle together. Yes, never doubt the worth of any tiny twig, bark, or branch, or the power of any tiny voice to spark the flame, to rekindle the fire on earth again, the fire of justice, peace, equality, and truth. Chop, 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 there's one, there's one, there's one. I stood one day at the chopping pile. A child was near. I said, come child, come kinder, find kindling. You can start the blaze with a great big log. It's the little ones that will do the job. Come kinder, find kindling. Jesus came to start a fire upon this earth, and he knew the special word of kindling, of children. Come children, find kindling. There was a man named Peter, I knew a man named Martin, I knew a man named Gandhi, I knew a man named Francis, I knew a man named Jesus, who said, I came to start a fire upon this earth, and he knew the precious word of kindling, of children. Come children, find kindling. Wherever there is hatred, we need to start a fire. Wherever there is violence, we need to stoke the fire. Wherever there is hunger, we need to feed the fire. Wherever there is hatred, we need to spread the fire. Wherever there's despair, we light it everywhere. We light it everywhere. Jesus came to start a fire upon this earth, and he knew the precious worth of kindling, of children. Come children, find kindling. A twig of understanding, a spark of tender mercy, a flame of sweet compassion. We bundle you together. With a little spark there's love. With a little spark there's love. 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 There's love. 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 There's love. Jesus came to start a fire upon this earth, and he knew the precious worth of kindling, of children. Come children, find kindling. of kindred, of children. Come children, find kindred. Chop, 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 chop. There's one, there's one, there's one. Chop, 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 chop. There's one, there's one, there's one. Chop, 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 chop. There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. That's it. Thank you very much indeed. Lovely. As a matter of fact, I found out something. I'm not a computer person of all sorts, but I dangle at it, and sometimes I surprise myself, and mostly I surprise my wife because she says, "You're the worst. You're living in the 14th century." But I remember the Celtic folk back in the 70s. We started the Celtic folk, and we did a lot of big things back in the time, and we forgot about it, you know. But we did one thing with between 400,000, 500,000 people from the Washington Monument to the Capitol steps for solidarity with Pete Seeger and others. And I didn't know. So I heard there was a vinyl record, and for years I've been calling up people. Did you record that? Did you? And never could get an answer. And as I will look for it, you know. So the other day, I was looking at solidarity, looking at maybe perhaps there's something there, and you know, because there's pictures of it with Ozzie Davis and Stevie Wonder was there, and all those things. This is 1981, September the 19th, 1981. And I went down a little bit, and there was a record company selling a vinyl. And my wife I couldn't get that vinyl. So after 42 years, or almost, I got the vinyl with all the folkies and Pete Seeger, and I was like, I'm on cloud 9 about this, you know. So I'm going to do the song that we have, the Celtic folk, we would call ourselves back in the Celtic folk back in the days. And we do a call as a song from Pennsylvania, from the Molly Maguires, the famous Irish people up in Pennsylvania that I guess they rose up against the mine owners at the time, and it was a little bit in Gaelic word, we called it rúile búile, knocking heads going on, but I won't go into it. But this is a song, and I'll never forget it. I told the audience, 500, 400,000 people, whichever, 200, for 300, it doesn't matter. Clap your hands in the air. I see everybody clapping their hands. Oh my God, I can't believe they're clapping. But when you're on the Capitol steps and there's people all the way to the monument, and you see hands in the air, it flips you out, you know. So I said to myself, if an Irishman, a folkie, that plays 3 chords on the guitar can do this to people, can you imagine what the rest of the people, the politicians can do? So I'll do it for you, because I'm still kind of high on it because of the fact it's a vinyl record. Oh my God. They wait for the Molly Maguires. They're drinkers, they're fighters, but they're men. They wait for the Molly Maguires. You never see the likes of them again. So they wait for the Molly Maguires. They're drinkers, they're fighters, but they're men. They wait for the Molly Maguires. You never see the likes of them again. Down the mines, no sunlight shines. Those pits are black as hell. In the slime, they'll do their time. That body's prison cell. For the curse the day they travel far, they drowned their tears in joy. Oh, they wait for the Molly Maguires. They're drinkers, their fires for their men. They wait for the morning wires, you'd never see the likes of them again. Backs will break, muscles ache down there, there's no time to dream of field or farm. A woman's arm just kick that bloody scene. So they drain their bodies underground, who'll dare to push them around? They wait for the morning wires, they're drinkers, they're fighters for their men. They wait for the morning wires, you'd never see the likes of them again. So they wait for the morning wires, they're drinkers, they're fighters for their men. They wait for the morning wires, you never see the likes of them again. Hey! Woo! Thank you very much. Of course, some of the other songs we would be doing at O'Flaherty's for years. And there's many renditions of the song from different groups. That's what folk music's all about. You hear a song like this, and then you go down the road to another folk group, and there's another verse to it, and another chorus to it. So that's what it's all about. This story is about Maggie Dunn and Mr. Dunn, the Dunn family. They immigrated to America in 1902, and they settled. I believe, outside New York City, in Jersey City. And they raised a family of 22 children. 22. And 22. God loved them. And this wonderful chorus in it, and I leave a blank out. I've been leaving a blank out this chorus for 40 years. And still you feel it, just fill it in for me one more time. And it goes like this. And the chorus, we want you to do the chorus as well. Here's the chorus. I do the chorus too. For there was high done and low done, underdone and overdone, all the other younger duns, in and out their run. There was old Dun and young Dun and young Dun's younger son. Young Dun would be a Dun when old Dun's done. And that's the chorus. You'll get it. Usually after 5 verses, I add another 6 and you get it, you know. I once was well acquainted with a man called Joseph. That's it, hold on. A very respectable sort of a man, and fond of harmless fun. He courted young and married was when he was 21. And a very respectable family had Mr. and Mrs. Dunn. For there was high Dun and low Dun, underdone and overdone, all the other younger Duns, in and out they run. There was old Dun and young Dun, and young Dun's younger son. Young Dun will be a Dun when old Dun's done. In the course of time, this Joseph, he got himself a wife. You've been going to O'Flaherty's too long. That's it. Some people, they used to say nun, but I had to discourage them for saying the nuns, you know. Yeah. In the course of time, this Joseph, he got himself a, and soon he found he had a fight, the hardest fight of his, to keep 22 little bellies, and a wife that weighed a, and any man who can do all that, you'll have to say, well, for there was high Dun and low Dun, underdone and overdone, all the other younger Duns, in and out their run. There was old Dun and young Dun, and young Dun's younger son. Young done will be done when old done's done. Well, Mrs. presented with their first bouncing. They called him Seamus, Cole and Patsy, but named him Jerry Lum. And when the bread of life went up, and children more did, said Mr. to Mrs. more bread or will be done. And the chorus all by yourselves. For there was high done and now here's to the youngest son of, likewise to the oldest, and here's to the youngest son of. When the oldest done is, for any man can be well in this big wicked world. What's done by done must be well, so forget about the, thank you. For there was high done and low done, underdone and overdone. All the other younger dons, in and out there run. There was old done and young don's younger son. Young done will be a done when old done's done. Thank you very, very much indeed. You're great. Going to do a song from Scotland this time. Oh, Scotland. Why not? We'll have to keep the Scottish people happy. As a matter of fact, I do tours to Ireland and to Scotland every year now. Back again. I just finished a tour in Ireland about 3 months ago, and doing 2 tours next year in April. One to Ireland and one to Scotland. And all of you are welcome to come. But if you're if you are interested, out in the there's a table out there with where I have 50,000 CDs for available. There's a mailing list there if you're interested in about the tours to Ireland next year and to Scotland. But this is one of my favorite contemporary Scottish songs written by Cathy Stewart, and also her husband, God love him, he's up there with the rest of the Hootenanny folkies in heaven, doing their concerts all the time now. Andy M. Stewart, I'm sure you heard of Andy M. Stewart. Andy made the song very famous, and we became dear friends through the years, and I come from the land of the long grass and gorse. I flew with the eagle and I ran with the horse, and I played with the wild wind and whistled its tune. I ate with the ocean and I slept in the moon. You brought me down gently, you brought me down clean. You fed me the summer, you fed me your dreams. Your hands held the wound, and the heart felt the pain, and your eyes stole the light of the moon's wane. The moorlands and oceans of blue. We slept with the dawn and we rose with the dew, and we sang with the breezes of the year to be born. We lay in the long grass when the side took the corn. And you brought me down gently, you brought me down clean. You fed me the summer, you fed me your dreams. Your hands held the wound, and your heart felt the pain, and your eyes stole the light of the moon as it waned. I will fall with the leaves and turn with the land. I chill with the first frost that stings on your hand. But I gather the seeds of the gorse and the broom. We laid them forever, said the man in the moon. And you brought me down gently, you brought me down clean. You fed me the summer, you fed me your dreams. Your hands held the wound, and the heart felt the pain, and your eyes saw the light of the moon as it waned. I come from the land of the long grass and gorse. I flew with the eagle, and I ran with the horse, and I played with the wild wind and whistled its tune. I ate with the ocean, and I slept in the moon. And you brought me down gently, you brought me down clean. You fed me the sun, you fed me your dreams. Your hands held the wound, and the heart felt the pain, and your eyes saw the light of the moon as it waned. Thank you very much indeed. I suppose many of the songs we did at O'Flaherty's, apparently they grabbed onto a lot of people through the years, and rightly so. We're totally indebted to, of course, in the folk revival back with the Weavers and the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Macon. And most of us in Ireland, growing up there in the early 60s, were hearing those songs for the first time in Irish radio era and with the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Macon. The first time I've heard Irish radio airing Clancy Brothers and Tommy singing a song, I think it was 12 years old. I said, "Oh my God, this is great stuff," you know. So we're very, very blessed for those folks that came before us. And so many folkies back in the time, in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. I came to Chicago in 70 and started playing with the Irish minstrels, traveling around the country and learning how to speak English and having a grand old time. It was I would never dreamt that I would be playing in huge auditoriums at that age, and so I'm grateful to the people that made it happen for me. Yeah. Gratitude. And this home, boy, is home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while, in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all growing greener in the old country. They sail across the sea in ships, the sea that sails a furl. I went to seek me fortune on the far side of the hill. I wander far and near, and I've travelled, I have my fill. And it's home, boy, it's home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny road tree are all a growing green in the old country. Well, I left my girl behind me and I sailed across the tide. I said that I'd be back again to take her for my bride. But many years have passed and gone and still I'm far away. I know she is so fond of love and waiting for the day. And this home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny road tree are all a growing greener in the old country. Well, I know there's more to life than to ramble and to roam. Happiness and peace of mind can best be found at home. For money can buy happiness and money cannot bind. So I'm going back tomorrow to the girl I left behind. And home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny road tree are all the growing greener in the old country. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny road tree are all the growing greener in the old country. Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to actually take a little intermission after the song here, and if you're, I'd like to talk to you and interested in a few CDs I have, or if you'd like to be on the mailing list, so you know the next time I come to Memphis, you'll get a mailing list. You get something in the mail, or whatever, and it helps. Actually, it does help. We lost a lot of. I don't know what happened. I had a huge mailing list, and some of them we lost them. So a lot of people said, "Oh, we didn't know you were coming. We didn't get your email." So I must have misplaced it, or somebody did. But if you're not getting any emails, the next time we'll come back to Memphis, which will be next year, please God. I think I was talking to James, Amona, and trying to get that name correct. Did I get it right? Amona. I'll get it right. I'm terrible, but Aloma. But they do a lot of work for the less fortunate down in Guatemala, and I said I'd come up and do a concert to help with the building homes for what they do for them down there. So next year sometime, and maybe I'll do a house concert for them here, something like that. So, anyways, but gratitude. So I'd be more than happy to help out with that. I'll finish up the first show, just 15 minutes intermission, and come back for more songs. I like to. The story in the song here is about immigration to this hemisphere, and the people that come to America, to Canada, to Newfoundland. Newfoundland is the closest spot, closer to Europe than any other spot in North America, and coming to Canada for sure. And I always thought, when the sun shines on the east coast, it hits Newfoundland, and then Newfoundland sparkles and sends all the light all the way to Vancouver. And it's an island that has taken on a lot of people who needed a home to go to, and a lot of Irish people, and English and Scottish and Welsh and others from the continent of Europe have come there, and they were welcomed with open arms. And it's a wonderful place. So a friend of mine wrote the song with me, and my wife actually participated
in the lyrics as well. So she wouldn't admit that, mind you. So I'll finish up with for sure. I hope you are enjoying yourselves, and I am so delighted for the invite to come here, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. You never forget. But we worked together on a few bits in New Orleans. So I mean, it's great.
Behold the face of Canada, a jewel on the sea. Our hearts have touched the weary soul as she embraced their dreams. Eyes to see the wonders, a light to show the way. 1,000 welcomes to the hearts and memories of yesterday. She is the face of Canada, so proud, so strong and free. Oh, she wins her eye as you pass by. She's home for you and me. The sun that rises on her face, the east wind sings a song. She spreads her light across the bay to Vancouver from St. John's. No matter where you come from, no matter who you be, she'll be so glad to screech you in and be at home with you. She is the face of Canada, so proud, so strong and free. Oh, she winks her eye as you pass by. She's home for you and me. She is the rock of Canada, the seaman's heart can find. That hope and prayer of the lost has met the test of time. And when you sing, oh Canada, from sea to sea to sea, over the rocky shore of Newfoundland, welcomes you and me. She is the face of Canada, so proud, so strong and free. Oh, she winks her eye as you pass by. She's home for you and me. Oh, she is the face of Canada, so proud, so strong and free. Oh, she wings her eye as you pass by. She's home for you and me. Short break, 15 minutes. I'll be back with you. Thank you so much.
All right. Ah, goodness. Are you enjoying yourselves? were told that some people are commenting on our on the show tonight. You will encourage people to let us know that you're watching, and let us know that you need any authority to come to any part of the country to do a concert. You never know. But I'm very grateful. I just want to get everybody settled in, and tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and we are the many who'll travel there. Tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and we are the many who'll build it there, and we will build it there. So come and travel on with me. We'll go to our new year of liberty and travel onward to a peaceful way, where love is to greet the coming day, to greet the coming day. Now's the time for love when evil men, when men of evil hunger hate again, shall tyrants once again be free to tread above our most brave and honored dead, our brave and honored dead. Oh, come along and travel on with me. We'll go to our new year of liberty and walk upright along the people's way, from darkness unto the coming day, from dark till sunlit day. Tomorrow is a highway broad and fair, and hate and greed shall never travel there, but only those who learn the peaceful way, where love is to greet the coming day, to greet the coming day. Thank you very, very much indeed. Many wonderful songs we would be doing at O'Flaherty's, and always got a request for this one here called The Rising of the Moon. And I remember years ago we were playing, my brother Patrick and I, we were singing at the Dubliner back in 1974, and Bill Russell came in, and Mark Lane, and they were there in Washington, D.C. for a week or so. But every night they came in, all they wanted to hear was The Rising of the Moon. And we gave it to them. It was written by John Keegan Casey. It was written way after the 1798 uprising in Ireland. I think he wrote this in the 1850s or so, something like that. He's a lovely poet, and it's one of his greatest songs he's written. Oh, come tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Hush me, buckle, hush and listen, and his cheeks were all the glow. I bear orders from the captain, get you ready again soon. For the pipes must be together at the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. For the pipes must be together by the rising of the moon. Oh, come tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. At the old spot by the river, right unknown to you and me. No more word a single token whistle out the marching tune. Put your pike upon your shoulder by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. Put your pike upon your shoulder by the rising of the moon. Out of Manny's one old cabin, I were watching through the night. Many heart was throbbing for the coming morning light. Murmurs along the valley like the banshee lonesome croon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing at the rising of the moon. All along that singing river where the masked men were seen, where above their shining weapons hung the roan beloved green. Yet to every foe and traitor for the shrine the marching June. And our army boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon. And our army boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon. And our army boys for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. My whistle fell out of my pocket that time, so I had to. But anyways, there's many songs that we would be doing, and some of them were not even Irish, mind you. There was, I think it was here in Tennessee, there was somewhere, maybe, I can't remember, and this is somebody going to correct me on Facebook now. They'll be tuning in to this. It was an artist, I believe, from Nashville that wrote the song, but it reached Ireland, and the Irish people are singing it, and they're still confused about it. You know, and so am I. I sometimes, but I sang a verse earlier. I was doing a bit of a rehearsal. But here it is. This is the way we heard it in Ireland. Many years ago, when I was 23, I was married to a widow who was pretty as can be. This widow had a grown-up daughter who had hair of red. My father fell in love with her, and soon the two were wed. This made my dad my son-in-law, which changed my very life. My daughter was my mother, 'cause she was my father's wife. And to complicate the matter, even though it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. This little baby then became a brother-in-law to Dad. Thus he became my uncle, which made me very sad. As if he was my uncle, then he also was the brother of the widow's grown-up daughter, who of course was my stepmother. I
which really is so. I'm my own grandpa. Sing with me now, everyone. I'm my own grandpa. That's it. Put your backs into it. I'm my own grandpa. That's it. It sounds funny, I know, but really is so. I'm my own grandpa. My father's wife then had a son, which kept him on the run. As he became my grandchild, cause he was my daughter's son. My wife is now my father's mother, and it makes me blue. Although she is my wife, she's my grandmother too. Now if my wife is my grandmother, I am her grandchild. And every time I think of it, it nearly drives me wild. Now I have become the strangest case you've ever saw as husband of my own grandmother. I'm my own grandpa, and I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but really it's so. I'm my own grandpa. Last time. I'm my own grandpa. My own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but really it's so. I'm my own grandpa. Oh, lovely, it is indeed. And another song that we would say, oh my gosh, and we might as well keep it on with the O'Flaherty stuff tonight. There's no reason to do anything else. This song actually it came out of Wisconsin, I believe, by Dale Markston, and became very popular in the Irish scene. It was Liam Clancy and Tommy Macon that started singing it, and then from then on, it became. I remember Tommy Macon when he came to O'Flaherty's to do a concert one time, and it was the first. It was when it first came out. He was singing it, and of course I learned it immediately, and I got the people to pretend they were bears, and they were put their paws out like this, and go from left to right and right to left, whichever way. But when Tommy started singing it, everybody started singing the chorus, and they were doing their paws like this, and he stopped. You couldn't believe it. He was, who taught you that? Here we go. God bless Tommy. Wah, 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 wah. Waltzing with bears, raggy bears, shaggy bears, baggy bears too. There's nothing on earth Uncle Walter won't do, so he can go waltzing, wah, 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 waltzing, so he can go waltzing, waltzing with bears. I went upstairs in the middle of the night. I tiptoed in, I turned on the light. To my surprise, there was no one in sight. My Uncle Walter goes dancing at night. He goes wah, 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 waltzing with bears. Raggy bears, shaggy bears, baggy bears too. There's nothing on earth Uncle Walter won't do, so he can go waltzing, wah, 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 waltzing, so he can go waltzing, waltzing with bears. I gave Uncle Walter a new coat to wear. When he came home, it was covered in hairs. Lately I've noticed several new tears. I'm afraid Uncle Walter goes dancing with bears. He goes wah, 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 wah. Come on, waltzing with bears. Raggy bears, baggy bears too. There's nothing on earth Uncle Walter won't do, so he can go waltzing, wah 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 waltzing, so he can go waltzing, waltzing with bears. We told Uncle Walter that he should be good and do all the things that we said he should. I think he would rather be out in the woods. I'm afraid we might lose Uncle Walter for good. He goes wah 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 wah, wah waltzing with bears, raggy bears, shaggy bears. There's nothing on earth Uncle Walter won't do, so he can go waltzing, wah, so he can go waltzing, waltzing with bears. I begged and I pleaded, please won't you stay? We managed to keep him at home for a day, but the bears all barged in. Everybody, when the bears all barged in, and they took him away. Now he's dancing with pandas. He can't understand us. The bears all demand at least one dance a day. He goes wah 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 wah, waltzing with bears, raggy bears, shaggy bears, baggy bears too. There's nothing on earth Uncle Walter won't do, so he can go waltzing, wah 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 waltz, so he can go waltzing, waltzing with bears. Oh. Thank you very much indeed. I'd like to, I write quite a few songs in the Gaelic language. I haven't put the CD out yet, but I have lots of them. But, this one, I like to, since I'm a Gaelic speaker, I like to do one of the songs I wrote a couple of years back. And it's about when I was a little boy growing up on my mother's side of the family on the Iron Islands. I used to spend summers there with Uncle Mike and my grandmother, Mamo. And I remember one morning in particular, I saw looking out at Connemara, looking out to the mainland of Connemara, and seeing all the sailboats of the Galway hookers coming across the bay, bringing turf or peat to the islands. That's what they would do back in those days, bringing turf to the 3 islands. And that particular day, that particular time, that particular year, that particular month, whatever, there was like 5 or 6 of them coming from the mainland. And then I'd be watching the local islanders working away what they were doing, and not totally distracted by them, but keeping an eye in to find out which bay they would come to. So they would get the horse and cart ready to go to the pier to bargain with them to buy turf for the hearth, for the fireplace, for their heat in the winter time. And I thought there was a fella up the road from Mamo's house, Porrick Joe Wakey. He had a horse. He had a big horse. He had a Clydesdale horse and a big cart. And I know that particular day I could see him getting the horse and cart ready to go back to Kilmivity to buy turf from the Connemara boat people. So it's one of the fondest memories of my childhood. What being around the old people and what was happening in the summer times on the islands. Fear, the Gaelic means look, because people say fear, look, and that's the song fear. The boat lochti the sail, the turf boats are coming. Look, the turf boats are coming. The Cuida Google said, it was Cuida Google sheer. Some of them are going east and some of them are going west. Fear, boat lochti near a thousand you saw you, now walk with you. There was nothing more beautiful that
you could ever see in your life. And there was 4 places they would come to: Kilmurry, or Kilronan, Killena, or they would go to Inishmaun, the Middle Island. I never seen one going to Inishmaun, but they probably did. But here's a song. Shomish Gelti, Boalam Marale, nor a vime morasu, ishten oren wo. En malen de krege, shavi me was savra. Granomacher Conamara, wat noch die ek show. Chonig me pere, gwel himpelchan golen. Hera cwele machas cwn yn i'r wôn. Can machas cwn chasla, shavi me chapa. Gwel siolte sydd liente, gwel machlas yn gol. Fier, wat nog die tier, kwed jak ogal sel, was kuts ogal schier. Fier, wat nog die tier, hier op tade is oje, na wakker toe die. Wir mwyntir na helan, o wir shed het fare. Mas du kin hwm, et togol i Jean. Kilmurry's Killena, Kilronan Shadouchir, Bahakana Kushuraze, go Inishmaun. Fier, wat nog die tier, kwed jak ogal sed, is kwed ogal schier. Fier, wat nog die tier, hier op tade i soile, na wakker toe die. Björn fyrir was eg fan noch, gutje gochlan mara. Maar wachten je zeeske, je kabach fod. Die park jo waiking, lesje har kapo. Zij hiesen en geel, de kamach van doen. Fier, wat nog die tier, weet ik ogal sel, was kunt wel schier. Oh, fier, wat nog die tier, hier op tade die solje, wakker door hier. S'nachts als wie een loschen, door de wie me mochasur. Granomacher Conamara, wordt nog die ik school. Wir mwyntir na helan, o wir shed gesaste. Ei moon bei heintige, des een hevele voer. Fier, wat nog die tier, weet ik ogal sed, dus kuts wel schier. O fier, wat nog die tier, hier op tade, die zal je daar wakker toe. Yeah. You can read the old Gaelic language, you know. And when I was out a couple of years back, when I went to Scotland and went out to the Isle of Skye, and there's a Gaelic university out there, and we were greeted, and they did a little concert for us, and I got to sing a few songs in Gaelic, and it's nice to know that the language is still being kept alive. You know, the languages are very important to all of us, indeed. Well, there's another one here that years ago, when we lived in Washington, D.C., we lived there for almost 11 years before we moved south to New Orleans. And but we did a lot of good shows there, and every year we were invited to Capitol Hill to do on St. Patrick's Day. to do shows for all the congressional members. And those were the days they were talking to each other, so there was no problems at all. Everybody was Irish, for God's sake. They were talking to each other. Yeah. The Speaker of the House, we became dear friends, for years, Tip, and we would go and up on stage to do our show, and the next thing, the Speaker wants to come up. And we didn't know at the beginning. The first year we didn't know, but the second year we knew this is going to be the easiest show we ever had in our lives, because once he got up on the stage, he never left. He would take over the whole thing. He was singing all those Bostonian Irish songs and come all you this and come all you that and oh my Lord. And he was a good man. He was a good guy. He was a really good guy, But he was. They fought a lot, all of them. But at the end of the day, they were Americans when the day was over, which is the way it should be. But a song, I'm not ready yet. No, not. I got another 5 or 6. Yeah. He's giving me the eye. There's a song that I'll do. He probably would give me the Irish eye. Don't sing it. But Tip gave me the song, and the story about a famous Irish-American wake up, I guess it was in the Boston area. And the song's called Steve O'Donnell's Wake. And you've heard it many times over Lardy's. They were fighters and writers and Irish dynamiters. There was beer, gin, whiskey by the keg, and you shout back, where's the cake? Where's the cake? They were men from high positions, they were Irish politicians, and they all got drunk at Steve O'Donnell's wake, and then you say, poor Steve. Poor Steve. That's where's the cake and poor Steve. And they were fighters and writers and Irish dynamiters. They was beer, gin, whiskey by the keg. They were men from high positions, they were Irish politicians, and they all got drunk at Steve O'Donnell's wake. Steve O'Donnell was a gentleman, so everybody said. He was loved by all his friends, both rich and poor. So everyone felt sad when they heard that he was dead, and they saw Lisa break upon the door. Now Undertaker Philly had a job to lay him out in the casket of the very finest make. Oh, Steve, my boy, why did you die? This weeping widow cried, and they all felt sad as Steve O'Donnell's wake. And they were fighters and writers and Irish dynamiters. There was beer, gin, and whiskey by the keg. They were men from high positions, they were Irish politicians, and they all got drunk at Steve O'Donnell's wake. McGovern said that Steve O'Donnell was an awful bum. Of course, he only meant it for a joke. Now Paddy Mac got off his back and gave McGovern a run, 'cause he hit him in the eye with the poke. Well, we all began to fight it, for we're all from mad, and blood enough was spilled to form a lake. Then the corpse was knocked down to the floor, they blew out all the lights. There was murder down Steve O'Donnell's wake. There we go now. And there were fighters and writers and Irish dynamiters. There was beer, gin and whiskey by the keg. Where's the keg? There were men from high positions, they were Irish politicians, and they all got drunk at Steve O'Donnell's wake. That's it. When the cops came to stop the brawl to make us understand, the corpse was picked up high as brother Dan. Someone stole the necktie from around O'Donnell's throat, and McGovern said O'Reilly was the man. Well, O'Reilly's friend, the crazy man, just swore to have his life. McGovern knew he made a grand mistake. So they fought and danced around until the cops came in and arrested all at Steve O'Donnell's wake. And there were fighters and writers and Irish dynamiters. There was beer, gin and whiskey by the keg. There were men from high positions, they were Irish politicians, and they all got drunk at Steve O'Donnell's wake. Oh, God help us. God help us and save us. This is another, of course, everybody loves the song here called Red as a Rose. And that was the most requested song in the ballad room at O'Flaherty's. Red as a rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows on the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. Come over the hills, my bonny Irish lass. Come over the hills to your darling. You choose the rose, love, and I'll make the vow, and I'll be your true love forever. Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. 'Twas down by Killarney's green woods that we strayed. The moon and the stars, they were shining. The moon shone its rays on her locks of golden hair, and she swore she'd be my love forever. Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. Tis not for the parting of my sister Kate, 'tis not for the grief of my mother, 'tis all for the loss of my bonny Irish lass, that my heart is aching forever. Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. a lovely song. It is a lovely song, indeed. There was another one that we got this from Danny Doyle, a great folk singer. Again, he's up there with Pete Seeger and all the folkies up there doing their hootenanny concerts. And Danny's he was a great man to ferret out songs from many parts of the world, and he was over, I believe, in Western England. He told me one time that he was listening to this folk singer singing a song. Anyways, he got it from him, and he brought it back to Dublin. And of course, he put his own little twist to it, as I say, a little bit of Dublin jargon to it. From two different accents completely, from Dublin accent to the west of England accents, two different. Here, across the Atlantic, and everybody's been doing it ever since. And there's a great part in this for you. We did this all the time at O'Flaherty's. It's on the live album at O'Flaherty's. It's a story about, of course, a pub that caught fire. Oh yeah, and everybody knew that the good stuff was down in the basement, and they all headed, even the firemen went down the basement. And there was Brown, upside down, mopping up the whiskey on the floor. Booze, booze, the firemen cried, as they came knocking at the door. As they came knocking at the door, don't let them in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted, McIntyre! You gotta put your back to it and say, McIntyre! McIntyre! That's it. Some friends and I, in the public house, were playing dominoes one night. Went into the bar, a fireman came, his face was a chalky white. What's up, says Brown? Have you seen a ghost? Have you seen your Aunt Mariah? Oh, me Aunt Mariah, be gobbers to see. The bleeding pub's on fire. Ah, fire, says Brown. As a bitter look, everybody follow me. Down to the cellar, if the fire's not there, we'll have a grand old spree. So we all went down with good old Brown, and booze we could not miss. And we hadn't been there 2 minutes or more when we were all like this. Here we go now. There was Brown, upside down, mopping up the whiskey on the floor. Booze, booze, the firemen cried as they came knocking at the door. Don't let them in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted, McIntyre! We all got stone blind, paralytic drunk when the old cow caught fire. Then there came a mighty crash, half the bloody roof caved away. We were all drowned in the fireman's hose, but we were all so happy. We got Westlacks and old tin tacks, we nailed ourselves inside, and we sat there guzzling pints of beer when the old dun cow caught fire. Are we ready? There was Brown, upside down, mopping up the whiskey on the floor. Booze, booze, the fireman cried as they came knocking at the door. As they came knocking at the door, don't let them in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted, McIntyre! And we all got stone blind, paralytic drunk when the old cow caught fire. Lordy, thank you very much. When the deer is bedded down and the bear has gone to ground, and the northern goose has wandered off to warmer bay and sound. It's so easy in the cold to feel the darkness of the year, and the heart is growing lonely for the morning. October's growing thin, November's coming home. You'll be thinking of the season and the sad things that you've seen. You can hear that old wind walking, hear him sinking high and thin. You could swear he's out there singing of your sorrow. Oh my Johnny, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? If I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning towards the morning. When the darkness falls around you and the north wind comes to blow, you can hear him call your name out as he walks the brittle snow. That don't wind don't mean you trouble, he don't care or even know. He's just walking down the darkness towards the morning. Oh my Johnny, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? If I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning towards the morning. It's a pity we don't know what little flowers know. They can face the cold November, they can take the winter snow. They put their glories all behind them, bow their heads and let it go. But you know they'll be there shining in the morning. Oh my Johnny, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? If I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning towards the morning. Oh my Johnny, don't you know that the days are rolling slow and the winter's walking easy as he did so long ago? And if that wind should come and ask you, why's my Johnny weeping so, won't you tell him that you're weeping for the morning? Oh my Johnny, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? If I had a thing to give you, I will tell you one more time that the world is always turning towards the morning. All right. Gordon. I was, when I arrived here, I thought like, when we Googled the road trip from our house to Memphis, I thought it was 7 hours. And once we left, we'll be here early enough. But it took us 9 hours. It also, I mean, by the time you stop get a bit of petrol and bite to eat, it's a 9 hour trip. It is. But by the time we arrived here, we were greeted by James, and he took us around, and they had the daycare children here at the church, and they were all the kids and their parents or the teachers with them. And so anyways, me and my dabble interrupted the whole thing, per usual, you know. And I got them to sing a little song, and Bill Staines wrote the song years ago, and called All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now. That sounds like an awful lot, doesn't it? All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or pause or anything. That's it. Don't be shy. We've been through worse. Oh, all the God's creatures got the place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and pause and everything together now. Now listen to the bass, it's the one in the bottom where the bullfrog croaks, the hippopotamus moans and groans when the big do, and the young cow just goes. And the dogs and the cats, they take up the middle when the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, donkey brays and the pony lays, and the old grey badger sigh. Oh, all the God's creatures got the place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and pause right there and now. Now listen to the duck with the little bird singing in the meadows, and the high-note string who brought the rice for everything, and the blackbird whisperings, singing in the night, I'm singing in the day. The little duck quacks just on his way. The otter hasn't got much to say, and the porcupine talks to himself. Oh, all the God's creatures got the place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing out loud, and some just clap their hands and pause around. Come on, everyone. Song, living song everywhere, for the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hog, and the sly old grizzly and the turtle. All the God's creatures got the place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and pause around. All the God's creatures got the place in the choir. Sing low, some sing out loud. Some just clap their hands and pause around. Yeah, yeah. All the engineers and all the Star Trek. And I wouldn't know what you're doing over there now, but I know you're doing a great job. Is any requests from the audience? Anybody listening in? I know this has been streamed across. We didn't put out there that we're doing this. I mean, James did it for his members, but I didn't do it. Is there anybody looking for a request from the audience out there? Huh? Gypsy Rover. I think I did that, didn't I? But I tell you, the way I am these days, I could do it 6 times, and I would say I never do it. If there's anybody out in the audience that would like a request, you know. Oh, the brick song. Oh my goodness gracious. That's the call, Dear Boss. Hi, Saoirse. You want to come up and sing? Saoirse has a song. Saoirse is a good dog, a good dog, a good dog. Saoirse is a good dog, early in the morning. That's a song. Saoirse is a good dog, a good dog, a good dog. Saoirse is a good dog, early in the morning. That's a song. Yeah, the brick song, this story about a fellow that went to work one day and anything that could happen to him with somebody going. I did actually, years ago when I immigrated to England in 1967, I had a job I didn't last long, carrying bricks in a hod. It was a hod carrier. It's got a long handle on it, and you put the bricks in and you go up the ladder and you give it to the bricklayers and they lay the bricks and all that stuff. But when you're coming down the ladder, you can't go down the spokes. You have to put your legs and slide down. I couldn't do that with my Wellingtons. My rubber boots, so I couldn't slide down. So they laid me off. And years later, when I heard the song, I said, there's a reason why they laid me off, because I might have been the person that this happened to. Dear boss, I'll write this note to you to tell you of my plight. At the time of writing, I am not a pretty sight. My body is all black and blue, my face is deathly grey. So I'll write this note to tell you why I'm not at work today. While working on the 14th floor, some bricks I had to clear. To toss them down from such a height was not a good idea. The foreman wasn't very pleased. He was an awful sod, and he said I had to cart them down a ladder in my hod. Now to clear away these bricks by hand to me seemed very slow. So I hoisted up a barra and secured the rope below. But in my haste to do the job, I was too blind to see that a barra full of building bricks was heavier than me. So when I had untied the rope, the barra fell like lead. Hanging tightly to the rope, I started up instead. I sped up like a rocket, and to my dismay I found that halfway up I met the flaming barra coming down. Now the barra broke my shoulder as to the ground it sped. When I reached the top, I banged the pulley with my head, but I clinged on tightly to the rope as I flew towards the ground, and I landed on the broken bricks that were scattered all around. As I lay there mourning on the bricks, I thought I passed the worst. But when the barra reached the top was when the bottom burst. A shower of bricks came down on me. I didn't have a hope. And in all of the confusion, I let go the bloody rope. Now the barra again being heavier, it started down once more and landed right on top of me as I lay there on the floor. It broke 3 ribs and my left arm, and I can only say that I hope you understand why Paddy's not at work today. Oh, we got a request? Me and my big mouth. Oh my God, look at all the requests I'm getting. Andy Stewart, Bob Mitchell requests. I don't know that one, Bob Mitchell. I don't know that one. I know the song, Andy Stewart made it famous as well as many others. If I were a blackbird, it whistled and sing. It's a great song. I never sang it, but it's a song that I might learn one of these days. I've been thinking about it for 30 years. But Bob, sorry about that. The only thing I can do for you is I'll do a poem for him. We learned a few poems in the convent in Carna. And we didn't speak English, and the nuns were trying to teach us some poetry in English. But there's one that I liked, and as I progressed in life and I found out the meaning of it, I found out in my travels that in every place you go to, everybody is got the same thing going on, and all they want is a little house and a roof and a fireplace and to take care of themselves and their families. That's it, little house. Everybody wants, we're on the same table when it comes to, it doesn't matter what language we speak or what part of this real estate we live in and on the planet. We're all trying to get a little house of our own, Oh, to have a little house, to own the heart and stool and all, the heaped up sods upon the fire, the pile of turf against the wall. To have a clock with weights and chains and pendulum swinging up and down, a dresser filled with shiny dove, speckled and white and blue and brown. I could be busy all the day, cleaning and sweeping hearths and floor and fixing on the shelf again my white and blue and speckled store. I could be quite there at night, beside the fire and by myself, sure of a bed and loath to leave a ticking clock and a shining dove. Oh, but I'm weary of mist and roads where there's never a house nor bush, and tired I am of bog and road, and the crying wind and the lonesome hush. And I am praying to God on high, and I am praying him night and day for a little house, a house of my own, out of the winds and the rain's way. That's it. Oh, of course I can. My goodness gracious. And that was for Bob Mitchell. Next time, Bob, I'll open my mouth about requests on streaming. I will know it. While I've been the wild road for many's a year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer, but now I'll return with gold and great store. Sure, I never would play the wild river no more, and there's no nay, never, no nay, never, no more. Well, I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. And that's it. There's 4 claps, and there's 2 claps, and there's 1 clap, and there's a half a clap. That's right. And there's no nay, never, no nay, never, no more. Well, I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. I went into an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady my money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Sure, as customers years I can have any day, and there's no nay, never, no nay, never, no more. Well, I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. Well, I took from me pocket 8 sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, we had whiskey and wines of the best, and the words that I spoke were only in jest, and there's no nay, never, no nay, never, no more. Well, I play the wild rover,
to my parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask him to pardon that prodigal son. And if they'll caress me as oft times before, sure I never will play the wild rover no more. And there's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. One more time. And there's no, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Well, I suppose I have a few more songs left of me. Yeah? The what? Oh, God, I haven't done that for a long time, my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. You know, there's a certain, there's a couple of songs that I probably, I would be, I'd be afraid that St. Peter would be writing down notes on me. So I'm very careful about what St. Peter's thinking. But let me do this one here. I was born in the path of the winter wind. I was raised where the mountains are low. Springtime waters came dancing down. I remember the tales they told, the whistling ways of my youthful days. Too quickly have faded on by, but all of those memories linger on like a light in the fading sky. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me a song, every moving and winding and free. You rolling old river, you changing old river. Let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. I've been to the city and back again. I've been moved by some things that I've learned. Met a lot of good people, I've called them friends. Felt the change when the seasons turn. I heard all the songs that the children sing. I've listened to love's melodies. I felt my own music beside me rise, like the wind in the autumn trees. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me a song, every moving and winding and free. You're rolling, old river, you're changing, old river. Let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. Someday from the flowers are blooming still. Someday when the grass is still green, my rolling waters will round the bend and flow into the open sea. Here's to the rainbow that's followed me here, and here's to the friends that I know. Here's to the song that's within me now, I'll sing it wherever I go. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me a song, every moving and winding and free. You're rolling, old river, you're changing, old river. Yes, you and me, river, run down to the sea. Oh, river, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me a song, every moving and winding free. You're rolling over, you're changing over. That's you and me, river, on down to the sea. Huh? Oh my goodness, I haven't done that for a while. I did that for a movie with Nicolas Cage, and I had to do it 85 times, and then I decided I'd never do it again. Yeah, if you watch the movie Seeking Justice, I'm doing the parting glass in that movie. Let me see if I remember it now. Oh, of all the friends that e'er I have, I spend it in good company, and all the comrades that e'er I have, they wish me one more day to stay. And since I fall into my lot, that you should rise and I should not, I gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be with you. I don't want to say good night yet, you know that. If I had money enough to spend and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in this town that surely has my heart beguiled. Her rosy cheeks and ruby lips, I own them all, she has in thrall. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all. That's all I know of it. I've been a while since I've... Well, I'm going to do one more song, and I'm going to love you and leave you for tonight. I'm excited about coming back here next year for the fundraiser for the wonderful program for those folks. Looking forward to that, and looking forward maybe coming back in the area, maybe do a few concerts, and maybe like a few house concerts. Maybe one in Nashville too. That the lady told me that she might. There you are. She's going to harass everybody in Nashville to get Danny to come up there. We'd love to do it. Love to do it. Okay, well, let me see where you're going. I didn't intend to do this one. Something's been missing that didn't used to be. Traveling down those freeways, saying that I'm free. Then I come to realize I'm driving in a cage, on the road to nowhere, catching up with age. I told my friends around me, all we need is more. I know because I've been there, there's just more stuff to store. Chasing down that rainbow with all that we can spend. It is the road to nowhere and doesn't have an end. It's time to smell the roses and feel the morning dew. Hum along and whistle, know that heaven lives in you. Hum along and whistle as we sing a merry song. Now it's time to roses as we sing along. I want to hear the cheerless laughter and whistle a merry tune. I want to hear the birds sing softly, smell the roses as they bloom. I'll hum with heaven's chorus, let the wind sing our song. Now is mine forever when my heart gets back home. It's time to smell the roses as the morning dew. Come along, come along and whistle. Know that heaven lives in you. Come along and whistle as we sing a merry song. Now it's time to smell the roses as we sing along. Sing with me, everybody. It's time to smell the roses and feel the morning dew. Come along and whistle. Know that heaven lives in you. Come along and whistle as we sing a merry song. To smell the roses as we sing along. There's a minute every hour and an hour every day when your eyes are fully open and your soul is free to play. It's time for understanding and a chance to stop and say, it doesn't matter what's between us, you and me, we're both okay. Every time's like love song, share a smile, wipe a tear. Angels have a celebration to gather round and give a cheer for each life and heart and spirit sees the truth as you draw near. You're an angel for a moment, and your moment's always here. There's a place down deep inside you, beyond your pain and fear, where there is no condemnation. Won't you close your eyes and hear all the music, all the laughter, and the music of your tears? It's for you and you can use it. It's your angel drawing near. Thank you all very much indeed. Every time you speak a kind word, share a smile, wipe a tear. Angels have a celebration to gather round and give a cheer for each life and heart and spirit sees the truth as you draw near. You're an angel for a moment, and your moment's always here. Always here. Always here.
can't leave you. I don't get these very often, so just, I'll give you. My God, I'll be thinking about this the rest of the week. Thank you. You were so kind. You were so kind. Lovely. Goodness. My Lord. You got me flipped out. Let me see what I do. Any of the songs I missed from O'Flaherty's, there's thousands of them. Anyone? I can't. Yeah. Oh, somebody else. Oh, here it goes to. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'll do it. I'll do the one, Lady from Bendigo. And I know that's coming from New Orleans. I know that's from the Erwin Schneider. I bet you, Erwin Schneider and Phyllis Schneider from New Orleans, I'll bet you. Debbie Riley. Huh? Debbie Riley. Oh, Debbie Riley. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Debbie, here you go. That's it. With Debbie Riley, I think you think she'd be asking for O'Reilly's daughter. So I was sitting by the fire talking to O'Reilly's daughter. Suddenly thought into my mind, I'd like to marry O'Reilly's daughter. Giddy-yi-yi, 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 with the one-eyed Riley. Giddy-yi-yi. Try it in your old bass drum. All right, I'll leave you with this one. I'll leave you with this one here. Absolutely. The days of my life have been quite self-contained. I haven't had much joy, but then I don't feel much pain. There's nothing as safe as a cold, selfish heart. And now my defenses have been blasted apart by the sweet core of life that has glowed. Tell me you love me, give my life purpose, and show me the way. Reach for me, touch me, and give me your body, and ask for tomorrow, we live it today. Will you come when I call? Will you go? This is our love song, I wrote it for you. The words may sound silly, but you know they are true. When I wrote them, I meant them, and I mean them still. And you know that I love you, and that I always will. If you love me, let it show. My lady from Bendigo. Speak to me, talk to me, tell me you love me. Give my life purpose and show me the way. Reach for me, touch me, and give me your body, and ask for tomorrow, we live it today. Will you come when I call? Will you go? My lady from bed.
whatever my loving should cause you some pain, just think of this love song, listen again. Remember the passion and think of the man, and remember the heart that you held in your hand. And if you love me, let it show, my lady from Bendigo. Speak to me, talk to me, tell me you love me, give my life purpose, show me the way. Reach for me, hold me, and give me your body, and as for tomorrow, we live it today. Will you come when I call? Will you go